What role does sports play here at BHS?
Um, I think at BHS in particular, but in a lot of schools, sports plays a huge role because it's community building. You know, the athletes on the team learn responsibility, they learn the trust of their teammates, trust of their coaches, and I think even for the student body that isn't a part of the team, you know, it promotes a positive culture. You know, you're supporting your classmates, there's showing a sense of pride in your school, pride in the successes and even the failures because, you know, you're not on the football field, the baseball field, the basketball or volleyball court, but you're still a part of it. You're there to root on and be there to support what the school is trying to create. So I think it has a huge role.
Okay. And then what do you think is like the most popular school?
I don't know. That's a good question. Most popular sport at BHS. I know when I've been to the football games, there's usually a decent turnout. The basketball games usually get a decent turnout. I guess I would say basketball and football. You know, some of the sports it's hard, like golf and tennis, but I guess I'd go basketball and football.
Okay. And then what about like the best one?
The best one? Oh, I can't even
Like record-wise.
Record, well, if you look in terms of success, the wrestling team usually has a lot of success. The volleyball team has had success. The soccer team, I mean, we had the entire school outside last year for a state game, so there's success there. So I guess in terms of that, I would say volleyball, wrestling, soccer,
BHS.
and the other sports are getting there. Softball's usually has a history of success here. Baseball has a history of success here.
So a lot of them.
Yeah, I'd say there's some successful sports here.
Okay. Do you know of any traditions or customs that we have here, like a sports team, sporting event?
Well, I didn't go to Belleville High School, but I'm born and raised in Belleville, and I know that even as an
Department make
elementary
them
and
more
middle
bigger,
school student, it was a big deal coming here for the football games on a Friday night. You know, the tradition of even the community coming out, you know, alumni players coming to support on the current, you know, Bucks teams, people who are just lifers in this town coming out. So I think just that Friday night tradition, which is all over the country, but that Friday night tradition of coming out as a community to support the football team, I think is one that goes back to at least when I was a kid.
Okay. So what do you think of the school spirit here at BHS? Like at the pep rallies, like the game?
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest on camera. I think the school spirit is awful. When we had that pep rally outside, you know, that was a great opportunity to show support for the band and the cheerleaders and the different athletics. And most kids were just on their phones or, you know, messing around in the stands. And as a dean for the first time this year, I was able to like kind of cue in on that more. I think, you know, I went to a private high school, but like our sports culture was enormous. Like we had, you know, standing room only, you know, in the gym for basketball games. The bleachers were filled for football and baseball games. And I think if we could get Belleville back to that, I think it would make such a difference in this building because, you know, with the culture comes pride in your school. And with pride in your school, you know, then you're excited for those events and you're excited to walk up and down the hallways in a pep rally. You are flipping out and going crazy when, you know, the people on the microphone are like, come on, let's hear you. And it's like crickets. Like I really wish that there was a stronger sense of that culture and that pride here because I think it would make a huge difference in this building.
So how do you think we could get to like that level of like cheer and spirit? Is there any way? Or just...
I think, I mean, I don't know the definite or the easy answer because then it would already be happening. But I think it's just word of mouth. You know, social media is a big thing. You know, if friends are on, you know, I was gonna call it Twitter, on X or you know Instagram. You know, post pictures when you're at those games. You know, let your other friends see who might not be there. You know, what you're doing or the fun you're having. You know, I think word of mouth is big. Hey, you going to the game this Friday night? You going to homecoming? And I think just kind of spreading it that way and just trying to draw that interest, I think could be one way to get kids there. And obviously there are sports that you know are more successful than others, but you know you're trying to get people there for all of them. You know, we want to show the tennis team. I mean, they play literally right here. You know, we want to show them our support. The baseball team, you know, a lot of the stuff is played right in this building or down by, you know, Claremont Field number 8 school. So I think it's just word of mouth and getting people like, hey, what are you doing tonight? Let's go to the game. Or, hey, there's a basketball game at 4:30. Let's stick around and go to the basketball game. So I think it's just getting that to spread throughout the building could help build that culture.
Okay. And then, well, kind of what you said earlier, bro. How do you think here the school spirit here compares to like other schools?
So the town that I live in has school spirit that rivals when I went to high school. I think it's difficult because, you know, walking around and talking to students, I know a lot of kids work. I know a lot of kids don't live within walking distance of the high school, so that makes it challenging to get to games. And I certainly don't fault anybody for either of those, but I think that Belleville has a way to go. I would hope and love to see getting there so that we are rivaling some of these other towns that surround us. It's hard. You know, there are a million factors outside of this building that play into everybody's lives, but I think if we could figure out a way, if somebody could come up with that perfect solution to get kids, to get students, to get their families, even the elementary and middle school kids, like to get them here and to root on their high school, I think it could have a tremendous impact just on the overall feeling of just walking up and down these hallways every day. So I think we're lagging, but I think we can catch up. It's just a matter of getting the students to buy into that.